Swatting? I didn't swat anybody. Drug dealing, insulting an officer, poisoning, desecration, treachery. Yeah, I never insulted an officer. Dummy. Blackmailing, uncertified torture. Okay, well, that's on me. I've just brought an axe to a fist fight. I feel like I'm just a bit murdery.
Welcome to Rustler, a very strange adventure through the Dark Ages, superhero references, and many plot twists. I streamed the entire game over the course of a few days, so try not to be alarmed at my outfit changes throughout this video. Without further ado, let's begin.
Naturally, I picked a new game, and without ever having played the game before, intuited that hard mode was the right pick before choosing how the screen would orient itself. Then, screen-oriented, I was ready to get started. But in starting off and knowing nothing about Rustler, something told me that this was not going to be a normal gaming experience.
We're here in the land of the cows. I feel like this is supposed to be silly. I'm getting a lot of silliness.
Very astute. Even though the game goes by Rustler, silliness is the name of the game. Check out that cow on the roof.
It remains silly. Horse on the cow. On the roof. Horse.
Ignoring the horse on the roof, I stopped laughing long enough to get the tutorial underway.
Remind yourself how to walk using WASD.
So after showing off my walking skills and stopping for a quick drink, I had to help the locals to see how inspired putting a cow on the roof was, which was done via a hand-delivered education.
The cow likes it up there anyway. All right, there's the cow. Yeah, I remember. Boss has a job. Boss gave me a job.
With the local population convinced to leave the cow alone, I was off to figure out what the boss and job were, only pausing where absolutely necessary.
I love music, man. Play that funky. Oh, switching weapons. Apparently I have a stick.
Yes, while trying to dance to that funky, I inadvertently learned that I was carrying weapons, meaning that my first fight was hopefully not my best and certainly not my last. But then I found Silly returning as I mounted my first horse.
Oh, press F to mount the horse. Or pay respects. It's just so funny.
As I figure out how to ride, go ahead and comment to let me know if you chose to pay respects or to mount that horse.
It feels weird being on a horse.
Now with horse, I dug up the map to figure out where to go next, finding more Silly waiting for me.
Pimp a horse. Pimp a horse. This is very silly. Watch out, this horse crossing here.
But Pimp a Horse would have to wait, as my objectives told me that I was off to a meeting, though that didn't inhibit me from stopping to admire how civilized the Dark Ages were.
This horse parking. No, I'm not parking there, but I appreciate that.
But jokes weren't the only thing I appreciated, as the feeling extended to a shield I found laying on the ground nearby.
Hang on, buddy. I added a shield to my inventory. What do you think about that, horse?
He loved it. So with my new shield, my horse and I headed into the city together, where we found the meeting, discovered that we hadn't been adhering to the gang's punctuality standards, which was putting us in danger of being booted from organized crime, and then were tasked with stealing a horse and getting it repainted.
Hit the pimp your horse on the way to the shed.
Naturally, that meant going to pimp my horse without any delay, except for a small one to pick up something I saw nearby.
Horseshoes? You can't pick up items while riding a horse, you idiot.
Silly me, trying to collect items as I went. Here's something else that was silly.
Medical truck, obviously.
And so I soon arrived at the horse I was to steal, jumping on it with reckless abandon, only to discover that nearby police were not fans of my flippant thievery.
Oh. The police are flashing.
Tickled by the police horses lighting up, I carried on my horse stealing as best I could until I ran into this problem.
Oh, that's a wall. Oh,
But that problem came with its own set of solutions.
hang on, I'm getting back. Are you getting off? Okay, well, bye.
Sadly, even in the middle of a hot pursuit, I cannot be stopped from collecting collectibles, so I hopped off my horse and found this unexpected one.
Poop was added to the inventory. Added 1 poop ammo. What is happening in this game?
And so, with poop in hand, or in pocket, or most likely dripping down my leg given the diet of the day, I found my horse, pimped my horse, turned in the freshly pimped horse, and then chatted with my buddy named Buddy about our future.
So we're gonna try to enter the tournament and win the hand of the princess. We're supposed to meet with him tomorrow for that plan. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go talk to my mom and be her lazy son.
Lazy or not, my mom had work she needed me to do.
We have to go plow the field. She doesn't know about my plan tomorrow to win the princess's hand.
So I plowed, earning a small bit of gold for my efforts before receiving this next cheeky objective.
Go home and save the game, now for real.
After saving my game for real, I was plopped into Rustler's skill tree, where I spent points to save some stamina and increase my combat damage a bit.
Those are for fighting.
Now ready for some combat,
game
I checked
again.
in with my best friend and fellow gang member, Buddy. Buddy sent me to talk with our boss, Herb, and after grabbing a crossbow en route to Herb tasked me with taking out a knight in a nearby camp.
Okay, he wants us to kill a knight in the woods and dispose of the body.
With a name like Herb, what could I do but trust him? So I headed off, and approaching the nearby camp, found this weapon conspicuously laying on the ground.
There's just a halberd sitting in the camp nearby. Don't mind me.
Tucking the halberd safely into my pocket, I made my way up to the camp, chatting with a man I assumed was the knight who warned me not to come any closer.
Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to come any closer.
Which, naturally, I obeyed. And with that fellow, who turned out to be the knight's squire dead, it was time to show the knight my new halberd.
I like to start with a heavy attack. Open his can up.
Once the knight's can had been sufficiently opened, I grabbed a cart to haul the body, and then took it to a nearby cemetery, only making this minor mistake along the way.
Sorry. There we go. Well, you're right outside of the graveyard. What's the worst that can happen? You have to go inside the graveyard?
That seems like perfectly sound advice. Who could argue? Then, having returned to the graveyard and wrapping up my mission, I stopped to spend the skill points I had earned.
Throwing poop at enemies slows them down by 10%. Well, that seems like some meta gameplay. I think we're just going to do health regen over time.
Even though I was now able to regen health over time, I had taken damage while trying to kill the knight. So I found a medicinal horse and wagon and tried to get help, but instead got this.
Do you guys give like medical help or anything? Hello? I'm injured. Oh, I stole it.
So pressing the button to get onto a horse was not the same button I needed to press to get into a medical wagon, which makes sense as there is no get in medical wagon button. Thankfully, there were police who rushed to help me get off of the wagon.
And I ran over oh, I was condemned. I ran over somebody too. I ran over somebody with an ambulance cart, which is ironic and funny.
Only barely containing my laughter, I checked the map to confirm that my next objective was far away, meaning that grabbing another horse for faster travel would be ideal. While riding to the next objective, it would also be ideal if you could like and share the video, and then subscribe before you comment sweet, sweet nothings to help the algorithm recognize just how groovy everyone thinks horse thievery is. It's truly appreciated. Returning to my criminal escapades, I finally arrived at the next quest, but was unable to kick it off due to the officers in pursuit.
All right, I gotta start this mission. You staying over there. I gotta lose the guards? Okay.
Obviously, the easiest solution here was to run around a nearby building a number of times until the guards lost interest. When that didn't work, it seemed like the only move was to steal another horse.
Taste the sword of justice.
The sword of justice. Need the horse of justice to get me with the sword of justice.
Without his horse and ability to pursue me, I lost the guard and was able to kick off the next quest, which saw me getting fake documents of passage in order to cross the bridge. This meant heading into town to protect John the Bard, a musician I needed to protect from an unenthusiastic crowd.
Nope, don't hit him. Hey, stop it.
Then, after helping John the Bard leave a lasting impression on his fans, I showed him a new beat I had been working on.
I'm just gonna punch him. Or press F5, but I'm just gonna punch him.
So after slugging the Bard to make him change his music, we kept our respective hits rolling as we made our way to the document forager, who was only too happy to tell us about his outrageous fees.
You are the guy that the bard knows that can forge stuff. So forge my name. 5,000?
Yes, 5,000 gold indeed, a number far larger than most people in medieval times could count to, much less live to earn. But since that was mission complete, I spent more upgrade points and then headed outside of the city to start another quest, hoping it would pay well.
A bunch of knights were riding through the city, all heroic and valiant. They were talking about a holy grail hidden somewhere in the woods. It sounds like a treasure if you ask me. So we're going to go hunt the treasure hunters. That's what we're doing.
So my search for the Holy Grail was on, as I scouted the woods, searching high and low, while drumming up trouble as I went.
Have you seen the Holy Grail around here? You're looking for it too, huh? We don't need competition. Oh, okay. Excuse me. We'll look elsewhere. Just kidding. I'm back with a sword.
But the sword was not as effective as a simple trample.
Ooh, that was way more effective than fighting them. Oops. Oh, that's another one. Move, move. I'm driving a horse here. Oh. He knocked me down.
Once knocked off my horse, I decided it was time to employ all of my different weapons.
Anyway, you don't have a shield.
And after teaching my opponents how to properly parry,
Come here, good sir. That's how you parry.
I found a far scarier foe waiting for me at the end of a long road.
None shall pass. He says to get the grail, we have to fight him like, hold on. Oh, I was getting down. I was pushing the F key, man.
But if you're familiar at all with pythons, you know this whole fight is yet another silly little reference.
Whoa, 'tis but a scratch. Cut his arm off. Yeah, get it?
Even though this was all a silly reference, the fight itself proved to be more than I was prepared for.
Can you even block? He has no arms. What, he's still attacking? And blocking, apparently. Stop! How are you doing that?
Unfortunately, he preferred show to tell.
Ah! There's just no visual cue. He's got no arms.
Giving it another go, I made quick work of the night,
Out of here.
and then found the Knights of the Holy Grail, a group devoted to running a secret brewery whose secret was about to get out thanks to guards who had followed me in. Obviously, I couldn't have that, so I chased down the guards to remind them how important their silence was, which they quickly understood. Then it was back to the Knights to gather a bit of coin for my troubles before starting this strange new quest in the Knights' employ.
So I'm gonna disguise myself as a lady to get into where the Frenchmen are hanging out.
That is exactly right. But as the Knights didn't have any lady clothes, I had to visit the Lady of the Lake to get the garb I would need.
Where's the Lady of the Lake? Where's the Princess of the Puddle? Where's our Woman of the Waters?
But as it turns out, the lady was just a woman who had her belongings swiped by some weirdo. Thankfully, he was happy to return the clothes after I quickly reminded him that I'm the only person allowed to steal things around here. But the twists weren't over, as I returned to the lake to discover that the lady had been kidnapped, and I would have to use my newfound disguise to rescue her.
Wow, very handsome woman. And then we're going to use this outfit to get into the Frenchman's location. So this is very sneaky, lots of espionage.
Racing to the French fortress, I leapt off of my steed, letting my disguise effortlessly carry me past the guards.
Oh, easy. It's just a girl looking for some fun. Like this, just a girl looking for some fun.
Once inside of the fortress, I went about removing the barrels of wine, though that did not go well.
I'm supposed to like, oh, I'm breaking these. You son of a silly person. Are you guys attacking me? I am a woman of great status. You need to leave me alone. Right, so explosive barrels need to be shot.
And so I set out again, smashing the wine barrels and shooting the explosive one from a safe distance.
Oops. Oh, that was a lot of death. My bad, my bad, my bad. I said my bad. I didn't mean to hurt. I did. I was trying to hurt the alcohol too, though.
With the alcohol destroyed, I leapt on my horse, fleeing the French. Then, to escape the pursuing guards, I swung through a Pimp My Ride to lose my wanted level before returning to the knights who had sent me on this journey to begin with.
Oh, there's the lady clothes. I don't really need those.
Without question, I would not be wearing those lady clothes, especially now that I knew that the people at the lake were prone to stealing them. With that quest completed, I spent my skill points and then decided to further help the knights with their alcoholic escapades.
It's just quest after quest, isn't it? Guards, guards.
The guards quest kicked off with the knights needing me to free one of their fellow knights after he was caught selling their banned booze. As the most obvious solution was to bribe the guards with more alcohol, I was soon delivering a cart full of contraband before things went off the rails again.
Oh, we took his clothes.
With the first guard drinking himself to dreamland, I had no choice but to take his outfit and use that to join the other guards in the city on their patrol in the hopes that I would get closer to the knight's friend.
Now we have to patrol with this guy? All right, come on. Have I been to Stevie's big awesome birthday party? Yeah, it was a good party. He didn't invite you. Oh, well, that makes sense. He invited Gob? Why did he invite Gob? Who's always poops in his pants. Dude, who would invite that guy? He's the worst. You must suck, dude. Why does he hate you? I don't know, dude. Yours and Stevie's beef, really not my concern. I'm just patrolling the perimeter with my pitchfork.
What can I say? If I ever met Stevie, I'm sure he and I would have hit it off. Speaking of people I never met, I returned to the guards who asked me to find a mysterious murderer that I happened to be familiar with.
There's a murderer on the loose? What? So this guy is the murderer and that's me. We're chasing me down. We're just gonna go find me. And I bet I'm in here. Look, over here.
Surprisingly, there I was, but I wasn't going to go without a fight.
You guys ready? He's gonna come get you. What a plot twist. It was him all along. It was a plot twist. You like that?
With the murderer no longer killing people, I loaded the knight I had come to rescue into a jail cart to get him back home, as no one would be suspicious of a criminal being transported by the guards. With all of the knights together again, the next quest they threw my way saw me helping with the ancient task of getting a permit.
In order to be legal, we have to register in the town hall. This is the ancient technique to make sure that they can bring their alcohol to market.
Heading off to pry a permit from the jaws of the town hall, this quest may sound simple, but had some rather complex objectives.
They're gonna make me stand in line to register for this alcohol? Wait in line.
Yes, this was some truly medieval torturous work, but I was not one to complain.
My kind of gameplay here.
When I finally did emerge from my bureaucratic work, the knights wanted to race back home, which was good fun, but soon overshadowed by an unexpected twist.
All right, we're here with 17 seconds to spare and to get off the horse. And we bumped into a lot of things.
A sabotaged wine cart. Who could be responsible for such dastardly work?
Oh no, it's the French.
Since the French were no match for the powers of the Knights of the Grail, we quickly unsprung the trap that had been laid.
He died doing what he believed in, alcohol. You're welcome for all of my help. Oh, the Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade was an achievement for finishing out the Holy Grail quest. Very pious work indeed. After which I spent skill points, and then tried to steal a horse, but accidentally started a cart delivery activity, which I didn't enjoy, but I used as a vehicle to help remind the locals about local building ordinances.
You guys can't live in the road and then get mad when people use the road. It just doesn't seem fair at all.
Since I was out helping the locals, I restored peace between brothers.
You guys need to stop fighting. Stop fighting. See how dangerous it is when you fight people?
But that wasn't the only danger, as my next mission saw me dressing up as Death himself to scare people.
It caused him to sneeze. Scared a sneeze out of him.
Given that I wouldn't have the chance to be Death again, I gave everything that I had to my performance as the Reaper.
Death lives, run away. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Also hates barrels. Boo, 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 boo. Sup?
With the people of the town scared, I thought my employment as the Reaper was secured. But sadly, the graveyard keeper was struggling financially due to lack of wars or plagues, so naturally a bit of reaping was in order to drum up more business, even though the guards didn't appreciate the struggles of small businesses.
Oh, here they come. Here come the cops. We're hiding in the brush. Death is hiding. Death is very sneaky.
Death is sneaky and good at completing his objectives, so with business booming again, I sought employment from the church, with my first job being to deliver barrels of water that were to be turned into wine. While this seemed biblically straightforward, another unexpected twist was waiting for me at the end.
All right, here you go, priest. One house. Stop. Ah, it's the Spanish Inquisition. I didn't expect that at all.
With the Inquisition sure to return, I completed the quest but kept working for the church.
Amen. It's a priest quest called Amen.
In this quest, the church had been losing its congregation, so I was called in to help restore people's faith by the laying on of hands.
How do I do that? Church now. Church now.
After getting the congregation back together, I enlisted a bard to fill the church with music, before making sure those who had attended were given the opportunity to give their tithes. But getting people back into the church wasn't the only concern, as my next job was to remind local merchants that unblessed wares could break at any moment.
Sorry. Should have blessed them.
When that work was done, I headed to the priest's house to check in, but was stopped at the gate by some of the merchants who were not feeling joyful with the priest's work.
Oh, they're pulling me down. Stop. Let me stand up before you kill me. I'm just a guy with a lute and a scythe.
Truly, few things in life will bring as much joy as giving to charity, so I gave the priest an empty courtyard, collected payment, and then concluded my work with the church.
Yeah, pay me, boy. There we go. Black Sabbath.
Like a book on cassette sound, the Black Sabbath achievement noise meant it was time to turn the page on the church and return to the main quest.
Let's do a main quest. Meat muffins.
Meat Muffins saw Buddy and me meeting up with our gang boss, Herb, who wanted to use us as practice since he was also interested in joining the upcoming tournament. In another twist, Herb told us that Buddy and I had killed some of the competition for the upcoming event, meaning he was hoping to have an easy win. Unfortunately, as we warmed up, Herb grew more frustrated at my combat skills until he pulled a sword in our fistfight.
Oh, he pulled out a sword. Are we fighting with swords now?
Of course, Herb quickly sheathed his sword when I took the upper hand in the fight, reminding me and Buddy that we worked for him and our combat skills might solidify our future within the gang. Herb then had me help the gang by tracking and taking down a rogue gang member before taking his body to this final stop.
Don't mind me, just a delivery for the butcher. It's just a human body. It's what you'd expect it to be. Excuse me. Pardon. And we've arrived. One butcher delivery.
After dropping the meat in the city, Buddy and I met up, with him telling me not to worry about Herb. Thanks, Buddy. I'm sure the man who makes meat muffins won't be a problem. Buddy quieted this concern by pushing me to practice my training so I would be ready to face Herb at the tournament, which meant joining a fight club in the city, winning my fights, and getting the Blue Blood achievement, and the 5,000 coins I needed for my forged letter.
You have 6,000 coins now. Really raked it in there.
Sadly, the counterfeiter who would help me was out of paper, so instead I was sent to steal paper from a Thunder Mifflin cart, which is either a silly parody or an unfunny Americanization, depending on where you live. With the cart full of paper delivered, the next step was to get a picture of myself to add to the certificate so it would look noble and official. So after spending some time with the painter and bringing my papered face back to the counterfeiter, my next task was to find the counterfeiter's brother, who had borrowed the counterfeiter's seal. Obviously, the brother enjoyed dressing up as a horse and needed the seal for his outfit.
Is there like an obvious horse mask man? Oh, you. Whoa. You here for a ride, big boy? Yeah, no.
With that stinky seal, I finally had all of the components needed to get my forged nobility certificate, meaning all that was left was to fight off guards who showed up to take away the forger. Thankfully, he kept working while I defended, so grabbing the certificate as soon as he was done, I raced away from the guards and towards the border with my new papers in hand.
Wow, they've got a new horse fresh out of the box over here. Very cool.
Undoubtedly, it was very cool. Unfortunately, on the other side of the bridge lay this next plot twist.
What? Got the paddy wagon. Oh my gosh, the horse was two guys.
Yes, come to find out, they knew it was me the whole time.
They knew it was me the whole time.
Right, that's what I said. As I was saying, the guards had put together quite the list of crimes to charge me and Buddy with.
Swatting? I didn't swat anybody. Drug dealing, insulting an officer, poisoning, desecration, treachery. Yeah, I never insulted an officer. Dummy. Blackmailing, uncertified torture. Okay, well that's on me.
As it turns out, Herb had alerted the guards to Buddy and me crossing the border. So instead of a warm welcome, we were immediately sent to jail, where we were to live out our days smashing and hauling rocks. Instead, I was soon visited by this unexpected person.
We have a visitor. I have a visitor here in prison. I have somebody who wants to chat. Oh, it's my mother. Running the farm alone while you sit on your tush in prison. I don't even want to be here, Ma.
So my mom forgot my potato allergy and brought a potato from the family farm, which seemed somewhat cold-hearted until I offered Buddy a bite, only for him to discover what was waiting inside.
My mother's giving me a bomb in the potato. Find a good hiding place for the bomb potato. Potato bomb. Bomb potato!
After planting the bomb potato by a nearby guard hut, my fellow inmates and I headed out for more manual labor in a nearby forest. But while they chopped, I gathered special herbs I'd use to help make my escape, as I explained here.
We have to burn the leaves we picked up in the woods, and it will make a hallucinogenic that we can use to escape the prison.
Since that's perfectly clear, the only thing left to do is execute on the plan before something unexpected could happen.
There's our herbs. We're gonna burn those. It's gonna make everyone get kind of weird.
Unsurprisingly, that was when the unexpected happened again.
Federal Bureau of Inquisition. Very Spanish, very unexpected. Where's the subject? Love that the Spanish Inquisition is just around all the time. You never expect it, but here they are.
Arriving to burn whoever dug up the skeleton, the Inquisition was ready to start their barbecue as soon as they had the man they were looking for, meaning it was now or never for the big escape. Starting with lighting the herbs, I carefully moved past tweakers through the camp to Buddy. Then together we made our way towards the bomb we had hidden, with only a few stops along the way.
Buddy started dancing. Knock it off. Thank you. Jeez. Totally lost sight of the mission.
But even with Buddy losing the plot a bit as we went, we soon arrived at the wall and set off the bomb-tato.
Wow. Bubbles.
And after being chased through the woods by the guards, Buddy and I finally passed out in a nearby shack, safe from the Inquisition, the prison, and all of the allergy flares caused by potatoes. The next day, we headed directly to Herb's house for answers, only to be met by some of his minions. But thankfully, the one we left alive was willing to point us to a nearby estate where Herb was hiding out. Instead of Herb, the only person we met at the house was Herb's unassuming nephew, Salazar, who told us that Herb was no longer staying at the estate. With no leads, we headed to the tournament to register, only to be hit with this news instead.
It's gonna cost 5,000 more gold just to get into the... We just got 5,000 from doing odds and ends quests, and now we've got to pay 5,000 more just to get into this thing.
In order to start drumming up the cash we needed, I returned to Salazar, who it turns out wanted to be a rapper but was in something of a street cred deficit. To fix this, we got him some jewelry for his look, stole from a local merchant for his bad boy reputation, and then caused a kerfuffle down at the docks so Salazar knew what a fight looked like up close.
I've just brought an axe to a fist fight. I feel like I'm just a bit murdery.
With Salazar now fully credible in the streets, we headed to the sketchiest part of town so he could put on a concert, which naturally meant I had to step in at some point to make sure things kept going smoothly.
Beatbox. Beat some boxes. This is how I beatbox. Oh, it's because it's the music, right? We're making the music. We have to beat all the boxes.
After the concert wrapped up, I took Salazar back home, but that was only the beginning of our time together, as he asked me to take out the guards his parents had hired and get him to a music contest in the city where he would be performing under his new stage name, Little Sleazy.
Sadly, the crowd didn't appreciate Lil Sleazy's performance, so I was instead tasked with spiting the event by bothering all of the concert goers, though that didn't include this concession man.
Hold on, I gotta go buy a pie. I'm low on health. Stay there. I don't know, the guy selling pies isn't involved in this. Might as well make it sale, right? What are you gonna do? Not sell a pie to somebody? Also, I'm the only person left alive. Who else is gonna buy your pie?
Yes, in times like these, any sale is a sale worth making. With Small Sleazy satisfied, we returned to his house.
We did it. We just have to take him home. Easy peasy day with Sleazy.
But Sleazy had other aspirations, with the next mission opening with Slee starting a shoe company and needing us to try the new shoes by using them to outrun a guard. Then, to promote the shoe, we stole a horse and used it to win a race, proving once and for all that Sleazy could rap, make shoes, win horse races, and pay me enough to make sure it all got done.
We did it. 13th century schizoid man. We've helped Sleazy with everything he needed. He did pay well. He said he would pay well.
Returning to the main quest, Buddy found a sword conveniently placed in a stone, and since everyone was having trouble getting it out, I turned to whipping out this move.
But we do have this pickaxe that should help solve the problem.
While the others trying to lift the sword didn't quite see my vision, I quickly helped them realize that hitting things was a viable solution before running into another problem.
Because the pickaxe wouldn't break the rock, Excalibur remained in the stone, long enough for me to go get TNT.
With the TNT working its magic, the sword was finally free, but it turns out that the sword was part of an art installation for a retired knight, so I added my own twist to represent that even after being at rest, a warrior may be called upon in the most unexpected of times. Next, I chatted with a herbalist I had met during my time in prison, who tasked me with distributing some of their more pungent products to different customers around the city. Then, when the recreational herbs were delivered, I went about destroying the delivery cart to make sure the product was completely smoked. After my work was done, I returned to the herbalist's house, but it turned out that Herb's gang had kidnapped him, so after chasing the gang back to their hideout and having my sword ask them nicely where the herbalist was, they were happy to tell me that they put his feet into some cement and threw him into a lake.
How are we supposed to get him out? Is there like a fishing? Oh, there's a pier. They said they threw him into a puddle to drown, but I literally drown here.
Yes, earlier in the same playthrough, I had drowned in this exact same puddle, but I suppose plot armor is a better flotation device than I had realized. Either way, I smashed the cement and then delivered the herbalist to a doctor to make sure he was going to be all right. Of course, seeing me be of such great service made the doctor recall all of the work he needed done, so I was soon off to collect bleeding bodies.
Where are the wounded? Get in here. Get in here. You guys okay? He was fishing. He had a fishing incident.
Including one stop where picking up a severed limb meant doing this instead.
I've delivered medical cart. That's a strange looking person. What am I getting here? Oh, a severed hand. Nice. I'm just here for the severed hand. Wait, we're not fighting. We're fighting? We're just here to collect. This is a very strange turn of events.
After slapping down the competition, I returned to the doctor, hand in hand, and another quest line completed.
There we go. Oh, literally stoned.
Literally stoned is the achievement for completing the herbalist and doctor questline. So with those two happy as clams, it was time to do something a bit more unexpected.
Oh, it's the Spanish Inquisition again.
It was the Inquisition again, but this time they needed help putting a stop to some round earth beliefs that kept popping up, as I explained here.
Okay, there's a bunch of round earthers that we have to go flatline. Remind them how flat things can be.
Rushing off to the city, I searched high and low for zealots, until I finally found a strange-looking fellow loitering outside of the church.
You look suspicious. Are you a round earther? You do look... You do look suspicious. Yeah, I did have a hunch. It looks... The little globe on your head.
Suspicious, yes, but also a bit too conversational.
I wouldn't say I'm a round denier. I just really like to get paid, so I'm disinterested in the conflict here.
As disinterested as I was, I needed to prove the earth was flat so I'd get paid. So I took the man to the water to show him the edge of the world, and he had me get on a boat, which resulted in circumnavigating the earth and traveling around to the world's other edge. Maybe proving his point, or maybe meaning I simply had more work to do. So, returning to the main quest line, I stopped by to see my mother, who suggested that she and I should meet up with my dad, Witold, in the city. Obviously, this needed to be narrated.
Witold, have you been... It's been so long. You're so handsome. Excuse me, what is this about? You remember, don't you? Haystack behind the pantry, our special place. By the way, this is our son, Guy, the fruit of our love. Say hello to your father, Guy. Hello. The police are here too because they accidentally showed up. Your son needs your help, Witold. Everyone's looking for him and escaping a prison quarry. Is there something you could do, please, for time's sake? Go back to your sewer you spawned from, you lousy shh. Thank you. I'd like to talk with the lad, like a man to another man, if you don't mind. Oh, sure. I wanted to do some sightseeing anyway. Ta-ta!
Of course, Witold was more interested in me for my services than serving as a father figure. So I headed off to help humble a noble that had been bothering my supposed father.
Pelt him with your poop. Time for some poop pelting. Hold on. I got a fresh one right here. Pelt.
After the poop barrage ended and I had lost the guards, the following objective was a bit more intense.
Now we have to steal his prized horse. To the butcher shop? We're gonna butcher the horse? Oh no.
But since I was trying to impress my father and not PETA, I delivered the fully assembled horse to the butcher, grabbed a nearby cart, and then returned the horse's head to the noble, finishing out my godfather homage by lighting the buildings in the noble's estate on fire. Naturally, this brought out the occupants of the estate, who I sent to sleep with the fishes before turning in the quest with my father, who paid me with a writ, pardoning my actions in the prison quarry. With my family affairs tended to, I bought this laundromat to generate passive income and then got ready to compete in the tournament. Preparing to compete meant making sure my body was ready and my competition's was not, so I visited the herbalist for some special elixir, which I used to spike the competition's drinks before handing them out.
Press E to serve the alcohol before anyone realizes how powerful it is. Yep, don't worry about that. You just drink it. Here you go. We're trying to give it to everyone so our chances here in the tournament get a little bit better. And one more from my good sir. Now we're all blasted. Everybody's completely wasted.
But a bit of inebriation would not stop these knights from warming up to fight. So I helped one prove he could take a blow from a horse at ramming speed, then helped another show how well he could deflect bolts.
Got him.
With all of the living participants warmed up, it was soon time to start the tournament.
Oh, there's the king. And there's the very beautiful queen.
So, fighting for gold and her lady's hand, I slashed my way through every one of the preliminary sword fights and on to the meat of the event, the jousting. Unfortunately, I forgot to tell Buddy that I had never been jousting, meaning it was time to travel to faraway lands in search of an ancient jousting trainer who could help me. Since I was in a hurry, my training kicked off right away, with my master starting with these rather unorthodox methods.
Okay, we're getting blindfolded and then we're gonna shoot the dummies. Let go and hit the final dummy. See over here? Oh, we shot our guy. All right, so that's all right.
And some more traditional methods, such as carrying my master into town while dressed as a horse so he could get some shopping done, and avoiding being caught by other trainers.
What? Is this like a Pokemon trainer? This is a Pokemon trainer who thinks I'm a rare horse? He's throwing a lead on me. Stop. Help. Another trainer wants to battle, but I'm out of usable horses. Gotta go. What is happening in this game?
Yes, a Pokemon reference on the tails of a Star Wars reference. Saying I didn't know what to expect next was an understatement. What I did know was that I was finally trained enough to joust, so I got to it, returning to the tournament, slamming my pole into others, and knocking them off their handsome horses as I went.
Oh, that's a lot of points. That's actually how you get all of the points.
Yes, all of the points, as my scores for jousting soon matched my sword fighting scores, leaving the competition shaking in their medieval plate mail boots. Speaking of boots, Buddy and I decided that I needed better armor for some of the later opponents, meaning it was time to try and make contact with a local hero, Iron Maid, to see if they could get me some better gear. To find the Iron Maid, I started by working with their arch nemesis, this odd fellow who I met in a dark alley.
There's Captain Middle Age.
Captain Middle Age was sure that if we caused a ruckus, we could draw out the maid. But after stirring up a bit of trouble and Iron Maid not appearing, Captain Middle Aged instead suggested we just turn on the signal used to summon Iron Maid, which had a much better result.
The signal's lit up. Cite the cow to move with some violence. There we go. Cow's moving.
With the signal lit and the cow moving, Iron Maid couldn't help but arrive. Then, after trying to do my move wherein I would pull the armor from a dead body and finding it to be useless against Iron Maid due to her not taking any damage, Captain Middle-Aged and I decided our only option was to hoof it out of the area. After collecting ourselves, Captain Middle-Aged suggested that we visit Monkman at the nearby monastery to get his help.
We're gonna go find Monkman. Monkman is a genius inventor with the coolest origin story.
Racing on our way, we soon arrived at Monkman's monastery.
That's Monkman.
Monkman had invented the Holy Hand Grenade, a weapon so powerful it might just be able to take out Iron Maid. And such a direct riff on Monty Python, it made me say,
And now we're just doing a Monty Python bit.
so after ensuring that the damage was lethal by sending one of the monks to speak directly to Jesus, we were ready to confront Iron Maid once again.
Beautiful. We've taken him out with the power of God.
Preparing for Iron Maid meant capturing the bishop, throwing his unconscious body into a cart,
Get on here, Pope. Gotta take you downtown.
and then, using the bishop's unconscious body as bait, the captain lured Maid into position as I crept up behind, ready to spring our trap. That is, until I realized one tiny, massive problem.
Oh, I don't have the grenade. The other guy took it. Just wondering where it was. He's gonna throw the grenade. Run away. Oh, it's gonna take me out. Oh, he didn't. He held it too long.
With the captain using a one-way ticket to shake hands with St. Paul, Iron Maid decided I would look better if I was disassembled, meaning the only thing I could do was race for the cart and pray that an extra hand grenade was there. Thankfully, the monk from the church must have told God to answer my prayers, as I found one and immediately tossed it into the maid's face, revealing the truth.
We did it. We hand grenaded her. Oh, she lost her helmet.
Yes, the Iron Maid was secretly the princess from the tournament, and she agreed to help us win so long as we kept her identity a secret. Truly a win-win.
All right, we made a deal with the Iron Maiden, who was the princess the whole time. This game is just so full of intrigue, espionage, secrets.
Now bound to work with the princess, I bought this stable, ran a race just for fun, bought a fishery, and then found a quest start near outhouses, a totally normal place for a quest to commence.
See, once again, they've shown up, this time from outhouses.
That's right, it was the Spanish Inquisition again. No one would expect it. This time, they tasked me with obtaining a prison cart, which I was to use to collect all of the different round earthers I could find and subdue. Then, once I had all of the round earthers in tow, I was to take over a military base where the round earthers and the Spanish Inquisition could finally debate who was right.
They've got proof that the earth is round. This is the trebuchet, and they're gonna fire them out of the trebuchet to prove that the earth is round. This all makes sense.
As this was both a scientific and religious discovery, we clearly had to do it correctly, so we used a cow to calibrate the trebuchet.
In the name of science, fire the cow.
A resounding success, one the experts were quick to analyze, which I summarized here.
Oh, the cow is so heavy it fell to the ground. A human would not fall to the ground.
But just to be sure there were no accidents, I placed a hay cart near the landing site, then returned to help load up one of the believers, as we all agreed that when launched from the trebuchet and flying above the earth, he could take a good and honest look at the world below to determine if it was round or not.
So long. Wait, what happened? Why are you still on there?
Whether it was in the name of science or religion, he was dead. But thankfully, it had not all been in vain, as the round earthers and the Spanish Inquisition were finally able to determine the truth.
He screamed, "Ah!" when he died, and they're saying, "Ah!" it was part of flat. And that's it for the round earthers. That's it.
And so, with the achievement popping, my time with the Spanish Inquisition was at an end. But I was soon off to do more quests.
You know what'd be funny is after finishing out that Inquisition quest line, if there was another quest for the Inquisition, because I genuinely wouldn't expect it. We just got the achievement, right? So I wouldn't expect us to have to work with them again.
Be careful what you wish for.
Nope, there's them. Oh, I didn't expect you either, to be honest. See? Yeah, I didn't.
Wasting no time, the Inquisition again requested I grab a prison cart, this time to move a prisoner, an alleged witch who I recognized to be the Lady of the Lake, from the prison quarry to the city for her burning. In yet another unexpected twist, the witch had no interest in attending her burning. As it turned out, she wasn't an alleged witch, but a witch in fact.
Oh,
After convincing the audience that I shouldn't be killed in the witch's stead, I checked in with the Inquisition, who were unbothered by the witch's disappearance. This meant I was free to collect money from my laundromat before heading into the swamp to find the witch and see about helping her with whatever she needed. As it turned out, the witch had her possessions taken when she was arrested, so she asked me to get a new pointy hat, which I satisfied with the hat of the round earth martyr from earlier, rest in orbit, and then a broom for cleaning up the mess left by her captors. Sweeping up the broom from a nearby house, my next item was a dress, and the witch specifically wanted one from the red light district. While clothes there weren't guarded too fiercely, some of the gentlemen were oddly concerned with me taking the dress. But after reminding them that the customer was always right, they were happy to give up the goods. When I returned to deliver the dress, the witch let me know that she had everything she could possibly need and was now ready to return to making potions. Naturally, this meant I needed to get some ingredients for her, including 3 flowers,
3.
the eye of a fish,
Find an eye of a fish.
and the tail of a rat, which just meant standing near rats until I could pluck one of their tails.
Here you go.
Then, with everything obtained, I enthusiastically handed it over to my friend.
Okay, here's all your stuff.
That stuff was used to make a potion that knocked me out so cold the witch could lock me in a cage as revenge for trying to burn her. And honestly, who could blame her? Trying to cook someone is a bad foot to start any friendship on. Thankfully, I had other friends, so by throwing a rock at a nearby bell, I summoned a monkman who freed me. So, the end, I guess. Next, I returned to the tournament for a bit more jousting, which I discovered came to me quite naturally.
All right, this time we're going for a perfect hat trick. All 3 points. No points for our friend Sir Roland. Got him.
That is, most of the time.
Oh. Aim for the body. I was aiming for the body. Where else would I aim? His knees?
After my runaway success in the jousting contest, Buddy and I were worried that Herb would try something desperate to keep himself in the running. Deciding that we should hit Herb before he hit us, I went down to the docks to tail one of Herb's delivery boys back to Herb's hideout.
They have shipping containers down at the docks. Hilarious. Hilarious.
Once I found the delivery boy, I followed him back to Herb's hideout in stealthy fashion.
Being super sneaky. Super sneaky night. Super sneaky guy.
Eventually catching and confronting the courier, it turns out he was just an intern, with the real courier working the graveyard shift. Of course, this meant heading to an actual graveyard, where I confronted the courier who tried to evade me but was eventually overpowered by my persistent pursuits. When the courier was caught, the man broke down, revealing himself to be a paid actor with Herb's true plan coming to light.
So this was all just a giant ruse to get me away from my friend Buddy, so Herb could go kill Buddy or hurt him in some way. I don't know. I don't know what Herb's gonna do. He's an unpredictable psychopath.
Racing back as quickly as I could, I found Buddy being held captive by a furious Herb, and although we tried to call his bluff, Herb wasn't going to let both Buddy and me out alive.
They killed my friend. They killed my buddy. Okay, well, this is gonna be easy enough. It's just all you guys. Oh. Little exploding base trick.
With the exploding base trick buying me just enough time to flee the area, I escaped Herb's grasp for a bit longer. Then I headed back to the only safe place I had left in the world, my home. Once there, I met up with Iron Maiden, who warned me that Herb had put guards on high alert to stop me from getting to the tournament, as me failing to appear would mean he would win by default. With no other option but to get through the blockades, I raced across the kingdom straight away to avenge Buddy's honor.
Well, where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to go? Can't even pull my horse out of the driveway.
When I finally did arrive at the tournament, Herb had the largest outfit of guards there waiting for me. But thankfully, in my darkest hour, my greatest ally came through. So it turned out the princess, Iron Maiden's alter ego, had gone ahead to make sure that I wouldn't be stopped just short of being able to face Herb one final time. With nothing else to say, the princess sent me in to fight Herb, get revenge for Buddy, and put an end to this story. The fight started with me displaying my superior jousting abilities and knocking Herb from his horse. But before the fight could be allowed to end, Herb leapt up, drawing his sword and preparing to fight me to the death. During our fight, Herb tried to blow me to smithereens with a holy hand grenade, but since I knew the grenade's timing, every time he pulled the pin and prepared to throw it, I pelted him with poop, causing him to stumble and blow himself up.
You're just starting the fight with the holy hand grenade? Oh my gosh.
Of course, as Herb began to lose control of the fight, he called in his minions to help him, and though I won't show you every failure that was had here, suffice it to say that with much persistence, I did eventually do right by Buddy's memory.
Not looking so good there, Herbert. Uh-oh, that's the end of Herb. Uh-oh, goodbye, Herb.
So with the princess coming out to congratulate me and Buddy's death avenged, my time as Guy in Rustler was at an end. But after the end credits rolled, I did want to do some minor cleanup things, like buying businesses I had missed, helping the butcher get a particular cow, and helping this man pick up his horse that he had parked in a no-horse zone.
Not a big mission, but I guess it's fine for the king to do.
Of course, that horse mission was followed by some non-lethal debt collecting for the same loan shark.
I should probably just use my stick. Oh, I don't have my stick. That'll do it.
Then, when the loan shark realized he couldn't pay his own debts, he asked me to unearth a buried treasure chest, happily took it from me, and then disappeared, leaving behind nothing but the business, which I promptly bought. And then finally, buying up the last business, I was able to mark all quests and all purchasable items off my Rustler to-do list. A huge thanks if you made it this far. These videos take lots of time, so please help the algorithm by commenting, liking, and subscribing. I'll keep showing up so long as you do, so why not go ahead and share the video to make sure others can jump in on the fun too. Bye bye, so long, kisses for now. Bye!